Hi, welcome to GRVO TV, G's Reviews, Views and Opinions, and welcome to my Vostok modding video. I'm running a time lapse of me actually modding the Vostok. Took me about an hour and a half, maybe a little bit longer than that. Using, as you can see here, Dremel. I use a Scotch pad, some polishing wheels and polishing tools and brushes, like wire brush fittings in the Dremel, things like that. And what I was going for was basically removing all of the shiny sort of chromy effect on the Vostok just to make it my own. Initially I was going to try and brush it, but then realised I haven't really got the tools or the skills to do that, so I've gone for a more distressed look on the watch. I'm quite sort of happy with what I've done. I'm really enjoying the watch. I really enjoyed taking it to bits, putting it back together again. I did have a speck of dust in it, so I had to take it apart again and put it back together again, and that kind of builds confidence in actually working with watches and taking them apart and doing, you know, little bits of maintenance here and there. And I just really enjoyed the whole process. At the end of the day, it's a cheap watch. It only cost me, you know, less than 50 quid. So if I really, you know, managed to fuck it up, I wouldn't be, you know, it's not the end of the world. So here it is on the wrist. Just show you that first. I think it looks great on this strap. And I'm just going to get in right close there on the bezel, so you can see the bezel has got the copper. I believe that's copper or brass. I'm not sure which. I don't know what that is. It's either copper or brass, but it might actually be brass. But you can see that colour coming through on the edge there, and also the inner edge as well. And I really like that. And I think over time, as it wears, that will just become more apparent. And then what I'll do is I'll just quickly flip it off. And show you like the edging. So you can see that's how it was before. That kind of high polish was like that all the way around. And now you can see it's got this like kind of dull effect. And it's not consistent. There are sort of some inconsistencies in it, which is kind of what I was going for. That bit there is probably a bit that I'm least happy with, but once it's on, it doesn't bother me. And I could go over it again, but you know, I like this side very much. And it's just different. It's unique. I didn't touch the back. It's now unique, and obviously the high polish on the bezel has gone completely because I kind of did a brushing effect, but then went over it with like a bit of really fine sort of sandpapery stuff. But yeah, I really like it. I just think it's different. As I say, it's unique. It's mine. I did it, and I'm really happy with it. I've actually fitted some jumbo spring bars in there as well, because I had this kind of clicking noise from this strap, and they just about fit in okay. So I'm really happy with this watch now. And for all its foibles and inadequacies in a way, this watch, I just think it's an adorable little thing. Cheap as chips, great fun. I really enjoyed modding it. I'd have more confidence now in modding other watches and taking them apart. My only one thing I would say is when you unscrew the crown, when I took the crown out, I was told, you know, make sure the crown is fully pulled out before you put it back in, otherwise you won't be able to get it to engage. Well, even doing that, when I put it back in, it wouldn't engage. But all I did was, there's like a little ridge on it, use a spring bar tool and push it in from the inside to make sure it's fully engaged before you sort of screw the crown down. Otherwise you could potentially unscrew the crown and just pull the whole thing out. So I had a couple of goes at that, but once I realised how what I was doing, it was quite straightforward, using a spring bar tool just to make sure that crown was properly seated back in and engaged. And yeah, I just think it looks really nice, and I'm really pleased with it. I am now looking for a second Vostok. I'm not precious about it. I quite like the GMT one, but if one comes up at some point in the future, I will be looking at getting another one to play with. So there you go, that's GRVO TV, G's Reviews, Views and Opinions with my modded Vostok Amphibian. Cheers, bye.